Hello everyone, welcome to the Ichimoku.co daily stock market review for the trading day ending Thursday, October 22nd. Firstly to the S&P 500, and here we see a change of trend today. This candle has formed a higher high and a higher low. Previous day's trading we saw the market rejected once again from the window that was opened up, this blue highlighted area. A window that's been in place since late August, and the strong price rejection of the previous day's trading suggested that the sellers had seemed to build enough momentum to continue this trend to the downside. The problem for this further selling was going to be the potential support at the previous resistance area at 2019, and also the support at the Tenkan Sen indicator, which very often comes into play when we have very strong upside momentum in that short-term time frame. That strong upside momentum is evidenced by the angle, the steep angle of the Tenkan Sen, the green line here. And for today's trading, we've seen the market bounce off solidly off that area, also closing the window, trading through there, and the close of today's trading finishing beyond the window suggests that the window is now negated. We've also seen the market breach to within this highlighted yellow zone of previous support and resistance, and this good solid build of momentum and the buyers taking back control of the market suggests that there is potential for the market to continue trading to higher levels. Now, if we do see a continuation of the trend to the upside, potential resistance at the top of the window around the 2079 area, but this has certainly been a good answer by the buyers. And if we look at this in the context of this very large, significant uptrend, a series of large white body candles, a two black candle retracement, a continuation of the trend to the upside, but then the very small body candles entering as the market then began a retracement of one candle, and now the buyers coming back into the market here. In bigger picture terms, it certainly does suggest that the buyers are the stronger party in this market. To the bands, and here we have the market continuing to trade outside of the upper band, and this is the previous day was the second occasion that we saw a test back within the bands, but a lack of follow through didn't see the market test down towards the mean of the middle of the bands. The lack of follow through here today has seen the buyers breach up through the upper band, highlighting the strong bullish bias in the medium term time frame. To the Dow 30, and a similar type of candle here, a change of trend to the upside, finding support at the Tenkan Sen as we saw with the S&P, breaching up through an important resistance level at 17,350, previous support level in the past, and taking that out in this solid bullish manner suggests that the buyers are very, very strong here. Potential resistance at the 17,536 level, and above there 17,603, but this solid build of momentum, the buyers coming back into this market with strong control, suggests we could see this market trade higher, but certainly watching for some rejection around these levels or up here around the top of, the bottom of this highlighted zone. That is a zone of previous support and resistance. To the Nasdaq 100, and here we see solid buying in this market as well. So across the board, good solid buying in all equities markets. The buyers closing with control, breaching up through the top of this highlighted yellow zone of previous support and resistance. 4448 was the top of that, taking out the next level and a small window that was opened up around the 4483 level in a strong bullish manner. It suggests that this market certainly is looking as though it is going to continue trading higher, but we will be trading within another yellow highlighted zone of previous support and resistance, and that extends up to around the 4562 level. But this market is bullish in all three timeframes, as are the other equities markets, trading above each of the Ichimoku indicators, supported by the Chica span, and suggesting that if we do see this market come off, looking to very strong support at the Tenkan Sen, as we often do when we have this strong upside momentum in the short-term time frame. Moving next to the Russell 2000, and here we see very, very different type of trading activity. A market that's trading down below the Ichimoku cloud, so a bear market in the longer term time frame, and this represents those smaller cap stocks. So what this is telling us is that the activity here is in the tech stocks, the Nasdaq 100, and those higher cap tech stocks, and the in the Dow 30, the higher cap stocks, and the S&P 500, all higher cap stock activity. Lesser stocks certainly aren't performing as well, so our focus really should be away from those smaller cap stocks. Here we see strong selling from the previous day's trading. Today's trading we see formation of a white body candle off support at 1147, but importantly the market trading around this 1167 area within the Ichimoku cloud and being rejected from there on a couple of occasions. This area here, if we breach down through the low at roughly about 1135, we have potential to form a double top type pattern. Here we have the trend up. It's not a major uptrend, but a close down below the trough between the two peaks would see completion of that pattern and the potential for the market to trade down to about this 1106 region. The 1100 round number support may come into play. For today's price action, we've seen the market close just above the Tenkan-sen, but we've seen once again price rejection from the Ichimoku cloud. Ideally, we'd like to see this market in unison with the S&P and the Dow and the Nasdaq, and that may occur if the buyers are strong enough. And we have an opportunity here over the next couple of weeks as the cloud becomes a little thinner, but still not significantly thin. And to the bands here with the Russell 2000, and here we see previously the market trading within the bands, attempting to rally through the upper band but being rejected, finding support at the middle of the bands, testing the upper band once again. The support coming in at the middle band and the tests to these higher levels suggest that the market may be setting up for a transition from this strong downtrending phase into an uptrending phase, but we want to see confirmation of that, and that would entail the market closing in a strong bullish manner up through the upper band at 1165, then some strong follow through, and ideally taking out this swing high around 1194, 1195. Moving to our asset class ETFs, and firstly the REITs ETF, the real estate ETF, and on the weekly charts we see very solid buying coming in for this week, just breaching up into the Ichimoku cloud, so potentially transitioning into a strong uptrending phase. Over to the band chart here, and the bullish breakout occurred last week. We are seeing some strong bullish follow through this week. This week hasn't finished yet, and we want to see a strong bullish close to this week. But looking at the relative strength comparative up above the upper band, and momentum of relative strength continues to trade up above the upper band. On the daily charts here we see strong bullish activity up above each of the Ichimoku indicators and also above the bands here. This suggests very strong bullish buyers in terms of Ichimoku in all three timeframes and in the medium term timeframe on the band chart. Today's bar has formed a bullish pivot point buy signal here and suggesting we could see further upside, but if we look at the relative strength, we've come back to within the band, so still performing very, very strongly, but the strong outperformance that we've seen recently is certainly in danger of just coming off a little, but still this is the asset class that we have seen a flow of funds into away from the equities, as opposed to the others where the equities market is the stronger at the moment. Looking to the sector ETFs next, and the technology sector is one on the weekly charts that is continuing to trade up above the Ichimoku cloud and the Kijun-sen and the Tenkan-sen, just testing around the top of the bands on the right hand chart here. A strong bullish breakout and strong bullish follow through would see this sector transition into a strong bull market, and it has been transitioning over a period of time after some very strong selling about a month or so ago, but relative strength comparative is above the upper band, and momentum of relative strength is starting to move outside of the upper band for this week's trading. It has to continue for the end of the week. This is incomplete at the moment, but just moving to the daily chart, and we see here a strong bullish pivot point buy signal here bouncing off the top of the upper band, suggesting a strong bullish bias in that daily chart on the medium term time frame, and trading up above the Kijun-sen, Tenkan-sen, and strong outperformance against the overall market here on relative strength comparative first subchart. But momentum of relative strength is still not quite performing strongly, so we want to see some strong follow through here, and that momentum of relative strength may pick up. Probably the weakest sector here is the healthcare sector at the moment, and on the weekly charts we see the market trading within the Ichimoku cloud, finding strong support around the Kijun-sen for this week, but on the band chart on the right hand side, trading down outside of the lower band, highlighting the very strong medium term time frame bearish bias. The market selling off, attempting to rally, finding resistance at the lower band, selling off once again, attempting to rally and selling off again for this week. The momentum of relative strength is very strong, and that relative strength is highlighting that this sector is very strongly underperforming the overall market, and we should be allocating away from the healthcare sector. And the daily charts show this on the relative strength subchart down below the lower bands, but potential for support to come in here in terms of Ichimoku around the bottom of the cloud. If we do break out in a bearish manner and see strong bearish follow through, we certainly could see a continuation of this underperformance. In terms of the bands, just trading around the middle band, so an opportunity here for some support to come in on a daily chart basis. But this relative strength is still very strongly underperforming. Just looking at some stocks, Activision ATVI is the first, and here we see a very healthy stock in terms of Ichimoku, trading above each of the Ichimoku indicators. Very nice extension to the size of the white body candle today, very solid upside momentum, potential for strong support to come in once again around the Tenkan-sen 33.47 or at the upper band at 33.65. In terms of relative performance, just moving higher and strongly outperforming the overall market here on the first subchart, but the momentum of relative strength is jet back within the bands, performing on a par in terms of momentum. A good opportunity here for that momentum to accelerate if we see a continuation of this strong trend to the upside. Nvidia continues to perform, strong white body candle. It's a bullish pivot point buy signal here, bouncing off the support at the upper band. Relative strength comparative is quite strong, but momentum is not as strong as it was previously, so looking for that to move outside of the upper band, and that would entail some follow through after this buy signal on the pivot point. Disney has been a very solid support performer over the last couple of weeks, trading outside of the Ichimoku cloud, up above each of the Ichimoku indicators, supported by the Chica span. The buyers closing with very strong control for today, and the buyers have been in control for the entire day. In terms of the bands, trading outside of the upper band, highlighting strong medium-term bullish bias in this market, but relative strength here is very strong, trading well outside of the upper band, and momentum is doing the same and well up above 100%, so one of the strongest stocks in the Dow 30. Intel INTC is another strong performer, strong bullish candle, buyers in control, buyers strongly committed, moving this market significantly higher, looking a little overextended in the depth away from the cloud. If we do see a retracement, looking to the Tenkan-sen to hold a support, as we saw back here, 32.68 is where it trades, or at the upper band at 33.37. In terms of relative strength, strongly outperforming the overall market, and momentum of relative strength is now starting to kick in, and suggesting that we could see a further outperformance. Visa, V is the code, and this was a stock that had been strongly outperforming, but it's congesting over the last couple of days. We saw a strong black body candle for the previous day's trading, sellers in control, but the Tenkan-sen holding as support, but formation of this white body candle unable to breach through the highs suggests that the buyers are taking a bit of a rest. Strong support coming in also at the upper band at 75.93. Relative strength comparative has started to come off and is just near that lower band, so maybe starting to underperform the overall market, and the momentum of relative strength is actually decelerating, so suggesting that we could see or we certainly could be seeing a shift of capital away from Visa to other stocks. The benchmark here is really going to be the Tenkan-sen indicator, $75.50, or the upper band at $75.93.